Hello once again and welcome to our daily podcast, and it's nice to know that you are there. It's always very interesting to know that you take time out of your busy schedule to listen to our podcast daily. We are so encouraged by this act of yours. It gives us the boost that we need to do more and to push more in ensuring that the right information is passed out down to agribusiness practitioner all over. As you are aware, we've been discussing farm planning for a while now, and today we'll be continuing. We'll be looking at a very critical factor that is a lot of attention needs to be given to. That is planning for uncertainty in farming operations. Planning for uncertainty in farming operations. As you are aware, no matter how fantastic your plan is, no matter how well developed your plan is, most times they are still interrupted, they are still distorted by unexpected events. These events are what we are looking at today and how to manage them. Now, there are some basic steps that we expect farmers to take in dealing with this kind of events. The first step, identifying these events and preparing for them peradventure they happen or they occur during the course of your farming operation. Most professionals choose to identify these uncertain events as constraints. These constraints, they have capacity to influence your decision that you have made and alter the execution of your plan based on what you have put down on paper. These constraints, normally they come in two forms. Some are positive constraints and some are negative constraints. What are the negative constraints? These are constraints that makes your business be in a position not to go according to plan. It goes the wrong way. For example, a new epidemic shows up, a new disease that you are not used to. They come up, a new change in price, a negative change in price variation. Imagine government comes up with a policy that will not put you in an advantage but in a disadvantage. A disaster, natural disaster, flooding, or even the meteorological agencies have not even predicted that such flood will be coming. So these are negative constraints that alters the plans that you put in place, and you are expected to begin to act otherwise. We have the positive constraints. Positive constraints are constraints that come as an opportunity. It comes as an opportunity to your business. It puts you in a position to have a better headway, better advantage over your plan. So what do you equally do? Whichever way you want to look at it, it distorts your plan. If you don't make the most of it, you will not take advantage of the opportunity. Imagine a scenario where maybe your farm is sited close to a natural waterway and there is drought. That is an opportunity, even though it's a challenge to a lot of people. But for you as the business practitioner, use the location of your farm is at that spot, you have an opportunity to take advantage of so you can choose not to take advantage of it. So which means, though a positive constraint, but you have not been able to alter your plan. So it's expected when you find yourself in such situation that you take advantage of such constraint. So these are the two major constraints that affect the uncertainties when we are talking about farming operations. So now, what do we do? How do we manage this kind of constraints that we are talking about? Now, price fluctuates as a result of market forces, demand and supply, government policies, farm programs, trade policies, and a lot of other factors. They affect price. So if you find yourself in this kind of scenario, you need to start projecting. If we are going to have this kind of challenge, one of the things that is going to happen is that we are going to expect an increase in price because the quantity of production that will be available for sale will drop. So how do I manage this kind of scenario? Let's also remember, it can happen to you in the place of your yield. It can also happen to you in the place of your input. So if it's in the place of your input, how do you manage such costs? We also have a challenge that comes as a result of cost fluctuation. Imagine a scenario where you have planned with a particular price for a product and there is an inflation that shoots up the price by, let's say, 10-20%. That naturally will affect every area of your business. You will have to adjust because you have carried out your financial plan like we discussed a few days back, and you have used some parameters to determine the financial objective that you have put in place. Now it's no longer possible because there's an increase in price. what do you do? At this time, you need to start carrying out decisions. You need to start making some new decisions. As for this decision you make can cut across dropping the size of your farming operation, sourcing for more funds, sourcing for more, reaching a new purchasing agreement, extending your market to be able to accommodate this increase that will come. Resources availability. Imagine a scenario where resources that ought to be available based on plan is no longer available. A product you've planned with, they've closed shop, they've chosen to go out of operation, or they are diversifying into other line of business, or the business owner suffers his own business challenge and it becomes a business for you. Imagine an equipment or a facility you have always used over the year, you have expected that you will use this year, it goes outdated and it's no longer possible for it to give you the kind of results that it gives, or a new set of equipment are now in operation that is giving a better quality that puts your business in a disadvantage. These are challenges that can come up. Some of them can be positive, some can be negative. If we move into how we manage these kind of challenges, you discover that one of the things that we need to confront is risk. Every constraint comes with its own risk. So we've taken time to discuss risk management in time past. How are we able to make decisions without exposing ourselves? In order for us to deal with this constraint, they come with the risk factor. Some of the risks can include increasing our cost of production, and where we are not guaranteed that we'll be able to increase our selling price. The risk also can shoot up, propel us into making a loss. It can also propel us even not being able to meet the right quality as a result of managing the challenges that comes with it. Secondly, there is also the challenge of applying our management strategies. This also affects you, so you also need to ask yourself, what kind of strategies are we going to put in place? Are we going to adopt the old strategies we've had? But now there's a change because we are having a limiting factor now that we need to manage. We should work on it to ensure that it's while we are managing these constraints, it's able to put us within the attainment of our set goal. Like we've always said, the goal is the compass. We must keep our focus on the goal. There is need for us to always have at the back of our mind solutions, anticipate challenges and profound solutions before they happen. That is why we emphasize that there is need for you to have a backup plan. Imagine a scenario where you have price uncertainty. If you have a backup plan where you are able to have an alternative to the products that you use, at this time it becomes useful because you are able to compare. If I have between product A, product B, product C, which of them is this price fluctuation affecting the most, that is still able to give me the best quality for my product? There, that begins to play. We are able to ask yourself, okay, with this size of land that we have and with the cost of cultivation shooting up, is there not a way we can alter our farming process, our farming operation? Is there not a way we can combine crops and still be able to use a smaller size of land to have more products and be able to meet our set goal? But we're having challenges with staff management. Is there no way we can introduce more machineries into our business operation? Then there is so much business uncertainty. Can we incur a little extra cost by ensuring our business operations so we are guaranteed, even if there is a major challenge or that can lead to us closing shop, we are still able to have a lifeline through the insurance company? What about, you don't wait for the day of trouble before you start seeking a credit line. Have a credit line. Make sure so that if you have a challenge, you are able to draw on it. Ensure you invest much more in training. As there are changes in the operations of the business, ensure your staffs are trained. They are up to date with the challenges and the changes that are coming even in the business operation. Make every effort to be ahead of your constraints. Make every effort, I repeat, to always be ahead of your constraint. If you are prepared for your constraint will be a springboard that will help you to be in an advantageous manner. Have a productive day. We want to hear from you. We want to get feedbacks from you on your views concerning those discussions we're having. You can go to our social media handles at OnePlot. You can equally send us an email on justoneplot@gmail.com, and you can also visit our website www.justoneplot.com. We will appreciate and we look forward to hearing from you. Thank you.